Trump wants to get Letitia James and Alvin Bragg. That's what this story is all about. Nothing else there. He went after Illinois because he wants to get Pritzker. Hates him. And the way to do that is to deny the states of Illinois and New York the federal grant money. The New York Post reports today $8 billion is going to get held up by the Justice Department that would have flowed into New York State, which is running an astronomical deficit here. Okay? So the easiest way to do this is to file civil suits against the governor and the attorney general. Then the question was, why is the mayor of New York left out? Because he doesn't matter. He doesn't matter. Trump wants to get Letitia James. Hochul is just an ornament. Doesn't have any bad feeling toward Hochul, Trump. But Adams, the deal that was made, I don't know what Adams is giving Trump. I have to tell the audience up front. I don't know, and I don't use anonymous sources, but I have gotten call after call after call that said, and all of these people have agendas who are calling me. They all have agendas, all right? And they're saying that Adams knows where the bodies are buried with James and Bragg. Just throwing it out for your consumption. I'm not reporting it to be true, but it kind of makes sense.
What's up, everybody? Hello, I'm KJ.
And I'm Crystal.
And this is Christian Conservative, your trusted source for bold, unfiltered news and analysis on the issues that matter most to Christian conservatives. So join us as we expose the lies, defend our values, and fight for the truth in a world that desperately needs it. Subscribe. Now, if you're watching here on Poppin' Politics, because we are streaming on Poppin' Politics tonight as well, come on over to Christian Conservative. And our producer is going to put the link in the chat. So if you're chatting on Poppin' Politics, click the link to come over to Christian Conservative, because we will cut the stream on Poppin' Politics momentarily. All right. So this is where you want to be. Again, we are exposing the lies, defending our values, and fighting for truth. Subscribe so you can stay informed, inspired, and empowered. Right, Crystal?
For sure, for sure. And if you are watching on TikTok, we're going to cut the stream in about 20, 25 minutes. So please, if you want to support our channel, if you really love what we're doing and you feel like we are helping get the conservative message out, I know you do. That's why you follow us. Please, 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 please come on over to YouTube. Help support our channel. We really appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. So we have so much to talk about tonight. Oh, yeah. So much to talk about. First, Crystal, please, can you open us up with a prayer? So we
Sure. God, we love you. You're such an amazing God. You continue to show yourself mighty and show yourself strong in this crucial in time where good is versus evil, oh God. Lord, continue to help us to spread the message of the gospel, which is love, which is truth. And Lord, we ask, oh God, that you just help us to do that. Give us the strength to do that. Encourage your people. Help us to only say those things that are pleasing to you. It is in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. So we are going to get right into this. First, let's talk about the video we just saw.
Oh, God.
So you saw what O'Reilly said. Trump has his aim on Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, Kathy Hochul, but mostly Letitia James and Alvin Bragg. What do you think about that exchange, Crystal?
Period. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like he was a little messy. A lot of it was kind of, him putting what his thoughts were in. I do believe what he said about Trump is not very forgiving in certain aspects. And let's not forget, these people were trying to put this man in jail, take him away from his family, a man who has lived an impeccable life, and they were just making up the crime. I mean, like, just they didn't care, and I feel like they are well within their rights to do it. They are literally like criminals, in my opinion. I feel like a lot of people need to go back to jail. Go to jail behind this.
Absolutely. It's first, as you mentioned, there is a huge difference between Trump going after Letitia James and Alvin Bragg and what they did to him. They had to create massive amounts of charges to go after Trump, and everyone saw that this was criminal. And then the charges that they created to go after him, there was no one that was hurt. There was no one that was aggrieved by these charges. This is how phony, how fake, how trumped up these charges were that they placed on Trump. But to the contrary, here, okay, we've seen, and God, forbid, I feel sorry for the people who have felt all of this stuff that has gone on in New York City, the crime.
Oh yeah,
these illegals that have killed, assaulted, many people in New York City and around the country, but particularly New York City. There are innocent people who have felt what their policies of this open border, of this sanctuary city policies have done. So this is way different. I think there's going to be people who are actually hoping and praying that he goes after Alvin Bragg and Letitia James for their negligence, for protecting the citizens of New York City, and for that matter, New York State.
Yeah, and I feel like he's well within his rights. I feel like he has a team of people that are loyal to him and are not playing any games. Like, they are going to pursue this to the fullest extent of the law because of how dirty these people were to President Trump. But what I will say is in the clip, he was saying, and I feel like this was a little fake news to me, and he said it was his opinion, but I didn't really like that he said it. He said that Mayor Adams doesn't know anything. Mayor Adams is, kind of being used, and he said that these
Who said that?
Chris
Cuomo or O'Reilly?
No, Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, Bill O'Reilly. Okay.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like I don't really look at it like he is like doesn't know anything or anything like that. I do see how he was red pilled. Like Eric Adams was red pilled. He saw how these people are so evil if you just go against them just a little bit. And all this man was trying to do was do a good job for his city. And so he brought attention to the fact that the migrants were coming, how they couldn't really afford to take care of it, how it was going to break New York City. And they are blaming him for basically ringing the alarm when the alarm was rung already.
Yeah.
He could have been a coward like our governor.
Yeah.
Ignore it.
Yeah. And I agree there. Now, I looked at it when he was talking about it. So I thought he was trying to push back against Chris Cuomo, because Chris Cuomo was saying he was trying to infer that it was wrong for Trump to bring charges against Letitia James and Alvin Bragg and not bring them against the mayor, who is generally, you think, is the person who's in charge of the whole thing. So then Bill O'Reilly was saying, well, Adams isn't the one that, really was in charge of it. He doesn't know anything as far as that's concerned, but he can assist them or the Trump admin in getting Letitia James and Alvin Bragg. That's what I kind of read it as. Maybe.
Yeah. And I disagree. I disagree.
Mhm.
Mayor Adams has been over this city. I'm sorry that he didn't have the balls to stand up before, but I'm from New York. I have seen an effective mayor, Mayor
Mhm.
Giuliani, whether you like him or not, and he took New York from a place of really, really bad policy with Dinkins. I don't care how much the left say Dinkins is an amazing person. Let me tell you something. We was getting robbed and getting $1.50s on our face, and people was stealing JanSport strings under Dinkins. Okay, Mayor Giuliani cleaned it up and made it safe for us to go to school again. And so people could have said, "Oh, mayors don't really have any power; they're being used." No, you have to basically exert yourself, and he didn't do that. And then he started making comments about the migrants, and then they left him and hung him out to dry. He had to come to the Republicans with his tail between his legs.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I remember we covered it during his campaign, on Poppin' Politics. I'm a Republican, I'm a conservative, but I was rooting for him somewhat, Mayor Adams, when he ran, because he was this former police officer. His campaign was more on law and order. He was sort of this sensible speaking Democrat from what I could see, on the campaign trail. And then when he got into office, all of that changed. So like you said, I don't know if it was just liberals and leftists in New York City were just saying, hey, we don't want you better stay in your lane and get rid of all that law and order stuff. And he did. But I do think, as you were saying, he's going to be instrumental in telling them where the bones are buried, as far as this sanctuary city stuff. And they are not playing with them.
I just kind of feel like I don't understand why him as a black man is allowing himself to be used by these people. I mean, seriously, I didn't understand it with Letitia. I didn't understand it with Alvin Bragg. Like, I just kind of felt like they were allowing themselves to be used to get Trump. Mind you, there's nothing that was going to improve their lives or improve their citizens' lives by getting Trump. And so
it's power. It's all about power.
True.
I'm sure they were promised if you stay on leash, if you do what I tell you and you're good boys, then we'll keep you going up the chain in the Democrat Party, rise in power, sort of like Obama-esque type of thing. I'm sure they were made promises and things like that. And then it just came. I think Letitia James, she just hates Trump.
Yeah, but she's a slave. She hates herself. Like,
right.
She hates herself.
She's just a nasty, demonic person.
I agree.
Anyway, and but again, I was surprised by Eric Adams. I was. But it looks like he has turned the page and he's seen the light, or should I say, and so he's going to help them bring down Letitia James and Alvin Bragg, which I really hope that he does.
I agree.
But again, with Pam Bondi, behind President Trump, now he has RFK Jr. was confirmed today. Breaking news out today. He was confirmed as the Secretary of Health and Human Services with a vote of 52-48, all but one Republican, Mitch McConnell of all people.
He's disgusting.
Yeah, did not vote for him.
I cannot stand that man. Like, I am starting to feel the way I felt about Liz Cheney, about Mitch McConnell. Because at first I was like, you know what? He's a decent Republican. I remember hearing him speak a few times on the floor, and I actually agreed with a lot of what he was saying. But the way that he has sold his soul to the machine is everything but Republican. His legacy will be one of absolutely insignificance.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, I think it's more of him being driven to do these things. Somebody's behind. He doesn't know whether he's coming or going. He's like, I actually think he may be in worse shape than Biden. But he's just whoever is pulling his strings is telling him what to do and not to do. And so he voted against him. And so I have notes here about that. Actually, I have a clip here. He voted. He was the one lone Republican to have voted against him. This is clip 10. Take a look.
Good evening, everyone. This is Reason, Director of Production for Metro Conservative Media, which does Pop and Politics, the All-American Talk Show, Christian Conservative, and of course, Just the Guys podcast. We appreciate the fact that you are watching us tonight on the Pop and Politics channel. However, we would also appreciate it if you would help the Christian Conservative channel grow. So, in the next few minutes, we'll be cutting the stream from Pop and Politics. It would be greatly appreciated if you guys can jump over to the Christian Conservative channel. That's at KJCJ Christian Conservative. We appreciate you checking us out this evening. Thank you for showing your support. And now, back to our program.
Oh,
love it.
Yeah. Yes, guys, you got to come on over. All you guys in the chat, come over to the Christian Conservative chat. The Christian Conservative chat is off the chain. It's really pumping right now. So come on over, join the Christian Conservative chat. Come over to the Christian Conservative YouTube channel. Yes. So now we have clip 10.
There was one very significant defection here in the United States Senate. That was Republican Mitch McConnell, the former GOP leader, someone who just put out a scathing statement about RFK Jr.'s views about the issue of vaccine. I'm going to read you part of it, Pamela. He said that he noted that he's a childhood survivor of polio, and he talked about how vaccines have saved millions of lives around the world. He said that he will not condone the relitigation of proven cures, and neither will millions of Americans. He goes on to say that referring to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a record of trafficking in dangerous conspiracy theories and eroding trust in public health institutions does not entitle Mr. Kennedy to lead these important efforts, referring to efforts to try to treat illnesses and disease. He goes on to talk about the efforts to try to deliver on vaccines. He says Mr. Kennedy failed to prove he is the best possible person to lead America's largest health agency.
Yeah, right. This man.
Yeah, he's right. A defection. No, he's an infection. Like something is seriously wrong when you go against a man whose mantra is "Make America Healthy Again," all because you feel like your 17, 13, 25, 33 vaccines has helped you.
Right. Yeah. I agree. And I don't even believe that was a cop out. That wasn't it. That wasn't it. He just wanted to find something to say, and so he said that. And we know that was a bunch of crap. Whoever wrote that for him, because he didn't write it, of course. Somebody put that down. They wrote it. He probably didn't even know they wrote it. So his days are numbered. And again, as you mentioned, he is going to leave a legacy of just sellout, and it's a shame of
so sad.
He voted with the Democrats.
I know.
He voted with the Democrats on all of the nominees for the most part.
And it's so sad. It's so sad because Republicans, we allow people like him to stay there. And if he was a Democrat, he would be they lock in step. No matter how much they feel against something, they make sure that they vote as a group. And for him to abandon on such an important nomination, knowing that all of MAGA is backing him, MAGA, MAGA, we're leaving these old heads, these old Republicans behind. We really are. Y'all don't get it. Mitch McConnell, you don't get it.
No, you don't. He does. But I'll tell you somebody who does, Stephen Miller. So, of course, Stephen Miller is, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, and he is not playing around with these Democrats. He is serious about these he's getting after these sanctuary cities. And here he is on the news talking about how President Trump has already saved thousands of lives just by the people he has kept out of the country within these last couple of weeks. Take a look. This is clip 2.
President Trump has already saved thousands of lives just by the people he's kept out of the country. these last 3 weeks. Do you have any idea how many criminals, how many potential terrorists, how many security threats have been blocked and denied and prevented and deterred from even trying to enter the country? A 95% reduction in illegal crossings. There are mothers all over this country who will sleep safely tonight because of what Donald Trump has done. That is what the American people voted for, not the chaos and bloodshed of Gavin Newsom and Kathy Hochul and all of these blue state governors and blue state mayors who have forced their people to live in violence and misery.
Oh my God. He is alpha male to the stars.
Yeah.
I just love this guy. He is so, KJ, he is so unfazed and so unbothered. And the way he just gives it to them, boom, boom, boom. They can't take it. They can't take it.
Yeah. And he's so, and like you mentioned, he has the details. You know, he knows what he's talking about, and they do not know what to do with him. They do not know what to do with him.
But I love the way that he pointed out that a lot of these blue state governors, y'all have blood on your hands. The Gavin Newsoms of the world, the Kathy Hochuls of the world, the what's the guy in Chicago? Whatever, Brandon. Whatever.
Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Y'all have blood on your hands because your citizens elected you to keep their city safe, to keep their town safe, to keep their neighborhood safe, to keep their place great. And for you guys to have betrayed the people that you are paid to and elected to serve, like I just don't know what else to call it besides betrayal.
Yeah, it is, and it's intentional, and that's what's so angering and sad is that we know that these Democrats have been doing this because they want open borders in order to push them to vote. See, they're trying to get these people to vote. They're trying to get, infiltrate the voting system so they can somehow maneuver themselves into power by, using these people who don't know how to, don't know the language, don't understand the history and the politics of what's going on. They're pretty much uninformed. And they're saying, well, if we open the border and make these open borders, they'll be beholden to us, the Democrats, and then we'll get their votes. That's what they're doing. This was intentional. And that's the angering and sad part about it. And, Attorney General Pam Bondi, she sounded off at a news conference, I think it was Tuesday, about this. And she said she's suing New York City over the state's policy against allowing illegal aliens to obtain driver's license. And she had an angel mom with her who actually is from Maryland, where we are here. Mm-hmm. And this angel mom's daughter, Kayla, was murdered by an illegal who crossed the border, came all the way to Maryland, was only there, I think, for a couple of days. And he killed her daughter.
While our mayor and our governors say nothing, mum's the word like good little slaves.
Right. Exactly. It was so sad to see. It was so sad. And so she's suing New York's green light law. That's the name of this law, allowed an estimated 750,000 illegal aliens to obtain a standard driver's license. The law restricts the state's DMV from sharing information with ICE and CBP without a court order. So again, they are working against the American people.
Yeah. It's something kind of evil. It's evil. And I mean, where else are they going to find those 10 million people that didn't vote? Those 13 million people that chose the couch, according to Roland Martin. Y'all a daggone liar. I have a bridge to sell you if you think that 10 million people just didn't show up to vote in the most important election in the entire world.
Right. Yeah, it's criminal. It's criminal. They lied. And everybody knows it by now. The same way we know that they are lying about all of this money and fraud that the DOGE and President Trump have uncovered in these institutions in the federal government.
Yes. And then
we know it and they know it, but actually we have a clip here of AOC actually admitting it. This is clip 3. Take a look.
There need to be Democrats who walk the walk and talk the talk. There is an insane amount of hypocrisy. And the hypocrisy is what gets exploited to use the cynicism. And wherever there's a hypocritical window, for example, I think one of the most biggest examples of this is insider trading in Congress. Like,
dude, I don't know if I do I give snaps? I don't know what the kids do anymore, but like, dude, it is like, that's so crazy.
It's so crazy.
It's
crazy. I mean, like, and this is the thing. It's like people think that everyday people are stupid. I'm like, do you all really think that people don't see this shit? Like,
they sit on a committee, they get information about a drug or a contract or a thing. They immediately make a call. The stockbroker changes things and their portfolio swells.
Explodes. It explodes.
What are we doing?
And you're doing this on public trust.
Right.
On like taxpayer finance, public, facilities. Like, it, of course.
You're regulating the market that you're trading on.
Exactly. And
you run the casino.
And then we're supposed to act like money doesn't only corrupts Republicans? Give me a fucking break.
Baby!
She said it right there. She's not lying.
KJ, we literally ain't got nothing to say.
I know.
She said it all.
Yes, she did. She said it all, and she was right. She told the truth for once. And this is something that Democrats actually used to lead on.
Yep.
They used to lead on the idea or the information that these people in government were stealing. They were cheating. But now they've joined ranks with them. And they're not calling them out.
So here's my thing with AOC. Let's keep it funky. AOC says, come on, let's talk. You ain't no better. Like, she don't know better. Like, she has become very wealthy with this. And so I kind of look at like you a snitch. I mean, you a snitch. Like, you can't do the same thing and then be calling people out for doing the exact same thing that you're doing. And mind you, everything that she said was correct. It's corrupt and it's disgusting. And the fact that they're accusing people like Donald Trump, who is independently wealthy, independent of a government check, Elon Musk, independently wealthy, they're accusing these people of doing the wrong thing or trying to steal the American taxpayers' dollar or steal their information when they are the ones who are doing it. I think it came up that Jasmine Crockett is worth $10 million. $10 million where? Sis, them t-shirts that you selling ain't making no $10 million. You remember her B6 t-shirts? Bad built butch.
Yeah, I remember that.
This t-shirt, sis, ain't making $10 million.
Yeah, you're right. And you brought up a good point. Because Elon Musk, President Trump, specifically President Trump, is the first president in a very long time who came in wealthy.
Yes.
And when he left, he came out making less than he did when he started.
Yep.
But all the other presidents, Obama, Clinton, Biden, they came in not making hardly any money and left with becoming multi-millionaires. So we know that there's something they're doing while in government, enriching themselves off of our hard work breaking backs. I want to acknowledge the super chat here. Jay Hunter Lee with a $2 super chat says, Mitch is a rhino.
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. And
yes,
folks, if you are here on Christian and Conservative, please hit the like button and subscribe. We really appreciate you all. We are trying to amplify our voice here on Christian Conservative, and this channel needs your help. So please hit that like button and subscribe. But we can't do super chats yet because we haven't hit that milestone. But when we do, you guys, we will be really excited. So certainly each of your likes and each of your subs helps get us to that point. Yeah, Mitch says is worse than a rhino. Treasonous. It is.
Yeah, he is.
Treasonous.
All of them. I mean, like, there's a whole like trend of Nancy Pelosi's trading secrets. I mean, like, she's one of the best like stock traders, and she can barely even like make a sentence. But she
doesn't even know her way around Microsoft Word.
Exactly.
You know that they're cheating. They're cheating. And this is why they get so upset when you have Elon Musk and President Trump exposing all of the fraud and waste that is in federal government, because they feel like this is not our money. They feel like this is their money.
Exactly. And it's so like she said, treasonous. It's such a betrayal, because they literally look you in your face and lie, and they tell you the opposite of what's going on. They gaslight you. Like, even I had people on my page, KJ, talking about, oh, well, most of the people that go into Congress are independently wealthy and they just kind of improve from there. And I want to say, which ones? Bernie?
Nope.
Mr. Donations?
They said when he first entered Congress, he didn't even have a home. Exactly. He was sleeping on someone's couch. Now he's a multi-millionaire. Many of them are. But when you talk about this waste and fraud that they have been calling out, nobody wants to talk about that. The House Subcommittee on Delivering on Government Efficiency, DOGE, held its first hearing. They've uncovered massive COVID relief fraud. Haywood Talcove, LexisNexis Risk Solutions CEO, revealed criminals stole over $1 trillion with a T, $1 trillion in pandemic relief funds, with 70% going overseas. Systemic government failures, outdated systems, poor fraud detection, lack of data sharing enabled criminals to exploit programs. I mean, Medicaid waste.
Oh,
they highlighted Medicaid as the largest source of improper payments, costing taxpayers over $1 trillion over the next decade due to eligibility errors. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah. I mean, like, I mean, he even found Social Security.
Right.
And I don't think a lot of people were talking about the fact that he found that we were processing Social Security personnel files in a mine.
Right.
Did you see, like, in a mine? You guys,
underground mine in Pennsylvania.
My husband works at a church, and they can electronically process payroll. You mean to tell me the most important personnel files in the world are being held in a mine?
I'm not surprised. Anytime we're here in Baltimore City, most of the Baltimore City is a very antiquated government. And when you go downtown to some of these old buildings, nothing is new. Everything is old. They're still using file systems in some of these places. The people there are old. They don't know what they're doing. I mean, all this stuff needs to be redone. But we know, just like, you know, in third world countries, just like communist countries like Russia and things, these places that depend on the government to do things, they do not do it efficiently. They don't do it well.
Yeah. There's no
important for someone like Elon Musk, a business owner, to come in and clear shop.
Yeah, there's no incentives for being innovative. There's no incentives for thinking outside of the box, for, finding new systems, new ways of doing things. And so I love that Elon Musk is coming through with DOGE. And I love the name DOGE because it's the Department of Government Efficiency. They are not set out to find waste. I mean, they're fine. I mean, you're making it really easy for them to find waste, but they're really just trying to help the American taxpayer and their dollars, and we're fighting them.
Right.
Dumb libtards.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand it. And then you still have, people in our community, the Black community, they're going for hook, line, and sinker. Here we have, this was all over the news recently, a pastor, actually a Black pastor in Chattanooga, Tennessee, called for violence against Elon Musk and DOGE for what they have been doing. This is clip 5. Take a look.
And in this nation, I'm worried that we are on the verge of bloodshed. This is an attempt to take us back to a day that we do not want to go, and we will not go. Therefore, there will be conflict. I pray that the peace of God will win out and overcome the madness that is attempting to take over this nation. And I will say to you, beloved, no one likes violence, but sometimes violence is necessary. When Elon Musk forces his way into the United States Treasury and threatens to steal your personal information and your Social Security check, there is the possibility of violence. Sometimes the devil will act so ugly that you have no other choice but to get violent and fight. Well, someone might say, now, Reverend, you shouldn't be talking about violence. This isn't the Christian thing to do. Well, I will say, why not talk this way? Because Jesus did. Jesus said in this key verse, didn't it? The kingdom of heaven suffers what? Violence. And the who? The violent take it by force. The kingdom of God is a war zone. It is a battlefield. You did know this, right?
God don't like these people. God does not. You know what so clearly comes into my mind, KJ, is when Jesus said, "Depart from me, you worker of iniquity. I never knew you." Not I stopped knowing you. I didn't get to know you that well. I never knew you. These people will cape up for Drag Queen Story Hour. These people will cape up while their kids can't read. Crime is ravaging while you have in church enjoying Jesus, and you're mad and caping up for some foolishness.
Yeah. And my question, because you could clearly see that he spent time on this sermon.
Yes.
Okay. He was reading his notes and everything. He practiced that sermon the night before. Okay. So my question is he lying or he just dumb and ignorant?
Dumb and ignorant and a liar. And a coward.
No, I have not seen any news reporting, any credible news that said, even on the leftist news, that said Elon Musk and President Trump were trying to steal Social Security checks. So why any person with any type of reasoning and comprehension will be able to see, well, why would Elon Musk and President Trump need my Social Security check? Two of the richest people in the world, not just in the U.S., in the world. Why would they choose to become president and he work for the government to steal our Social Security checks? It doesn't even make sense.
It's too much like right. You making too much sense, KJ. And it's so funny that I didn't even think about this, but I saw a congressman say something and I was kind of mad at myself that I wasn't equipped. You guys, we're equipping MAGA right now. He said, Elon Musk has a top secret clearance. Elon Musk puts rockets in the air for NASA. Like, he already got your information, you fool.
Yeah.
He's just trying to help us.
Right. And then you have this so-called pastor. I mean, I pray, Father, if he doesn't know, Lord, please equip him with the correct information. And if he does know and he is blatantly lying, Father, please give him a repentful heart. Repent, because he's calling for violence. And he wasn't even quoting scripture correctly. That is pride we are seeing there. You know, the Bible talks about there is time for violence, but it's righteous violence. And that what he was talking about, you fighting over your social security check, is not it, okay?
But like you said, it's not even the check. He is trying to make Social Security more efficient, so it's not being mined. Right. Okay, the personnel documents. But honestly, I don't respect, and I refuse to call that ignorance. I will refuse to call that just a misstep. The Bible says that if any of us lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives freely. And so if this man truly is seeking wisdom, God would have revealed it to him. What he is a coward, because he is literally falling within whatever his congregation want, the Black community. Do you know how hard it is for us, KJ, having the hue that we have, coming from the place that we have, to push against the narrative? Those are the types of people that I respect. I don't respect men like him that claim the gospel and their hearts are far from it.
Yeah. Folks, this is why we do what we're doing here on Christian Conservative. If you were watching on Poppin' Politics and have moved over here, thank you so much. Hit that like button. If you were watching on TikTok and you came over to YouTube, thank you. We appreciate you. Please hit the like button and subscribe here to Christian Conservative with KJ and CJ. We are going to start a movement here of value-driven conservatives. This is the place. This is your home. If you are looking for news that matters to the Christian conservative.
Facts. Someone said that people actually believe Elon Musk is running the country and not Trump. Nobody believes that. You know what, sis? Like, nobody believes that. They are just they're grasping for straws. They're coming out with everything. They're trying to drive a wedge between Trump and Elon. But these people ain't new to this. They true to this. That's why I love it.
I agree there. I think the most people don't believe it, but the media is pushing that narrative.
Yep.
And then, of course, the people on the left and the Democrats that aren't really paying attention start to believe it. She says, bad thing, the MCM and some of the churches now holding hands into their brainwashing indoctrination. We don't need this anymore in this country, in this world. Enough.
Agree.
Exactly, Mind Tab, enough. Agree. I mean, but that's why we got to continue to amplify each other's voices and continue to lift up strong voices like ours and build on communities like this so we can get the word out. Because I know my mind was changed many years ago from listening to someone like what we're doing now.
Oh, right? Yeah. For sure. And so many issues. I mean, like, we used to be raging liberals.
Right.
And they said, Elon Musk is following Trump's orders and Trump is following his constituents. This is what we want. Yeah. Anybody say, leaving MAGA, like we ain't leaving MAGA. Like, we wanted this. Everybody that I know who voted for President Trump is smiling every single day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And speaking of smiling, let's talk about that hostage that was released this week.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So President Trump said Wednesday that he and Russian President Vladimir Putin have agreed to begin negotiations on ending the Ukraine war. So President Trump spoke with President Putin on the phone, said they had a very good call, and within a matter of hours, Russia released Marc Fogel, an American being held prisoner in Russia for many, many years. I think he was there for 3 years.
Yeah.
Here he is talking about his release in this clip 4.
Know that I am not a hero in this at all. And President Trump is a hero. These men that came from the diplomatic service are heroes. The senators and representatives that passed legislation in my honor to get me home are the heroes. I am in awe of what they all did. My family has been a force. I think my 95-year-old mother is probably the most dynamic 95-year-old on earth right now. And I am so indebted to so many people. I think I remember a Churchill quote that he said when the RAF was fighting the Luftwaffe, and he said that never have so many owed so much to so few. And I put myself, fortunately and unfortunately, into that category, and I said, never has one owed so much to so many, that this superorganism of people that came to my support and the love that I was given sustained me for 3.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really nice, seeing this. We didn't get a lot of this in the last 4 years. It was a dark, dark 4 years.
Yeah.
And to see, instead of seeing, we're seeing more hostages come home, seeing our borders closed, seeing, these mass deportations, and they're really finding these evil, dark people that, are trying to hurt Americans, getting them out of the country. It gives a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, I love that we have a president who is a man.
Mm-hmm.
And he is talking and negotiating, and he wrote The Art of the Deal, which I'm reading again because it's such a beautiful glimpse into his thought process. So I'm able to look at what he's doing and kind of like make it make sense in my head to who he truly is.
You know what? We should do maybe do an episode, maybe once a week on like a book club on that.
Oh yeah.
I haven't read it.
Oh my God, it's such an amazing. It'll change your life and how you look at it, and how you look at things, and how you look at him. Everything in his mind is a deal, and so people are kind of upset with him for even talking to Putin. But he doesn't really care. Like, he was going to talk to Putin. He was going to talk to Zelensky. He was going to try and make this deal. What I will say is I like the way Mark kind of gave credit to where it was due. As much as I love to see him home, and I'm grateful that we're, because all we've seen is Brittany Griner and those people be free from Russia. I have to push back and say to our American citizens, be so blessed that you live in this country. Other countries do not want drugs in their country. I know we are okay, and we're gracious. We are a Christian nation. We are used to, the message of forgiveness. Other countries are serious about it. And you guys, Russia does not want drugs in its country.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, that's what he found. He had said he had a prescription of medical marijuana. They found it at the airport, and then here he is 3 years later.
Yeah, 14 years they gave him.
Yeah, 14. Yep,
years.
14-year sentence. So he was 63 years old now. So he was going to be in there for 14 years, but Trump got him out early.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. But again, this is leading to talks with Putin over the end of the war.
Yes.
So they are moving fast. I mean, it seems like Trump's been in office he's been reelected for a year. It hasn't even been a month yet.
Isn't it great?
Yeah. Yeah. And so, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth was overseas recently at talking to NATO, and he said he made news, I think this was yesterday or the day before, said it is unrealistic to hope for a return to the version of Ukraine's borders that existed before Russia annexed Crimea in 2014. Hegseth further said that the U.S. does not believe that NATO membership for Ukraine is a realistic outcome for a negotiated settlement. He says, "We want, like you, a sovereign and prosperous Ukraine," Hegseth said during a trip into NATO's headquarters in Brussels. So I don't know if that means that, this war is going to end with Russia getting what they want, out of Ukraine. I don't know, but President Trump's going over there and he's going to make a deal. They already have the appointment set. And this will come after we see what happens on Saturday, right? You guys know that has been set as for President Trump set the deadline with Hamas. If they don't send all hostages home by Saturday noon, his words, all hell is going to break loose.
Yeah, and I'm. Here's what I want to say to the people, because people were upset that Pete Hegseth said what he said. He said that we're not going to put any American soldiers into this war. I'm grateful that he's not sending our sons and daughters over there. Yep. He also stated that 2014 borders were not going to be restored. Well, who was the president in 2014? It's the black boy that y'all like, the the Barack Hussein Obama, right? So Putin took that land under Barack Obama, and nobody's actually talking about that, right? So under President Trump, it was peaceful. Barack Obama, he took it. And all we are saying is that, hey, the likelihood of reaching a deal that includes that the person who is winning the war give up their gains. You know what I mean? Like when we even say it like that, KJ, you're winning. You give up your gains to end the war. All he's saying is the likelihood of that is slim to none. Right. And he's also saying that, and this was, Putin has made it very clear from the beginning, that if Ukraine joins NATO, then that means that NATO troops are going to be on its borders, and they were not comfortable with that. You guys, welcome to the art of the deal. I'm sorry that it's not going out perfectly for the losing party.
You're right.
To the winner goes the spoil.
You're right. Folks, we got breaking news out here. We were just talking about AOC, and let me see here. She is now, Tom Homan has just referred her for investigation. Take a look here.
AOC out there, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman, putting out a webinar, doing a webinar to help illegals avoid, I guess, apprehension, giving tips about how to continue to remain in the country and ultimately game the system.
And I sent an email today to the Deputy Attorney General. At what level is that impediment? Is that impediment? I'm not an attorney. I'm not a prosecutor. Is that impediment? Is that impeding our law enforcement efforts? If so, what are we going to do about it? Is she crossing the line? So I'm working with the Department of Justice and finding out Where is that line that they cross? So maybe AOC is going to be in trouble now, but I need the AOG to opine on that. But because there's impediment, it's impediment in my opinion. I'm not a prosecutor, but we need some further guidance on that. But again, if we have to take every federal dollar out of the city, we'll do it. I mean, we're done. This is about public safety. This is about community safety. Knowingly releasing a public safety back in the public is just stupid.
Yeah.
You're putting the public at great risk. You're putting our officers at great risk. You're even putting the illegal alien at great risk because anything can happen on arrest on the street. So we just want to make common sense. In sanctuary cities, they want to step aside. We're coming. We're going to do it for you. If you don't want to make your community safer, President Trump's going to.
There you go. What's wrong with these Democrats?
Of all the fights, KJ, of all the fights in your loser schools, AOC, of all the fights.
Right? This is the hill that they are dying on. Not American homelessness, not crime, not the education, poor education. Half the schools don't have heat, don't have air in the summertime. You are giving it away to illegals
who have destroyed your city. New York City has been destroyed. Let me tell you, you guys, my mom is a legal immigrant, by the way. She's a citizen now. Oh, she get mad if I called her an immigrant now. She is a citizen. But even she said, oh my God, it's gotten so bad in New York. And this is the hill that they're willing to die on. She needs to be out of there, you guys. But y'all voted her back in.
I don't get it. If this isn't people saying we don't care about you and we're putting everybody else in front of you instead of this. I mean, this is where they are. This is the hill they have chosen to die on. It is really sad. It is really sad.
After everything that New York has gone through, you remember watching the clip of that Chinese lady that was talking about how the migrants are just like pooping in the middle of the street. Yeah. And she was like, it's awful. Like everything that city has gone through, you have your congresswoman like giving tips and sending apps and, oh, here's how you avoid ICE. Cooperate, dang it. Or and I have to say this to the migrants. You have to find a way to be legal or you have to go home. That's a big girl, a big boy conversation. Right? You gotta go home.
Yeah. And let me tell you, this is why and this is people, this is such a slap in the face to hardworking Americans, and not just hardworking Americans, but also to Americans that also need help. Because as we have said, illegal aliens strain our social service system. And most times, the people that are hurt are poor people. Kayla, who AG Pam Bondi had at the press conference, was it yesterday or the day before? She's an angel mom. Kayla is the one who was killed by an illegal. Her mom was a poor woman. They were living in a mobile home. These people are hurting, not the rich. They're hurting working class, middle income, and poor people. Look at this video. When they strain our social services, they are hurting poor people. This is out today.
No, I worship the ground and kids walk though.
The 29-year-old mother of the two kids that likely froze to death Monday in the parking structure of the Hollywood casino.
Maybe I asked the wrong people for help. But that was the only thing I did wrong.
Tatiana, remembering how many times she reached out for a place to live, she asked the father of the two kids that died.
He had an excuse every time. Either he's working, they can't come where he's living. He lived with a female and the parents and them don't want kids there or something.
She also asked the city of Detroit for help.
I reached out in November. I reached out before that. I've been on the CAM list for a long time. And every time I called and asked if they have a bed, they said they don't have family beds.
So the 7 of them had been sleeping in their 2002 Town and Country van since November, but the kids had everything else.
They ate every day, all day. Goodies, food. They didn't want for nothing. Every day they went to school. I had one mistake.
And the kid's grandmother, 49-year-old Yvette Goodman, was also in the van that day. Did the van run out of gas?
I have no idea what happened. I have no idea.
Did you fall asleep?
Yes.
And then when you woke?
Only night I fell asleep. I usually be woke.
And when you woke up, what happened?
My grandson wasn't moving.
A GoFundMe account has been set up to help the family.
And that's one of the reasons we did set the GoFundMe up, so she will be able to have housing for herself and the children, her other remaining children.
We'll put a link to the GoFundMe account on our website, fox2detroit.com.
That's all I wanted to do was sleep somewhere safe.
In Detroit, Charlie Langton, Fox 2.
That, and what hurt me when I saw this was when she said she fed them. She said she made sure they went in school every day. So again, I'm not here to judge anybody's situation. You know, I don't know why they didn't have a home and all of that, but I don't know. And I'm usually pretty, hard-nosed on stuff like this. But when she said that she fed them and they went to school every day, most parents who don't care about their kids and all, they're not making sure they go to school every day. This woman fell on hard times and she didn't have anybody to help her and she lost her kids. And so what angers me is you have people like AOC who are advocating for illegals. We just gave them $59 million in New York City to housing. And this woman can't find a house. She don't have anywhere to live, and she's an American.
Yeah, it brings me to something that President Trump said, like you guys in the 80s. He was saying that we can be more generous if we're not sending our tax dollars overseas. And J.D. Vance actually talked about the housing crisis and what it actually means in real dollars to the American people, especially the American poor, and how the government writing a check for these illegals is causing the price of housing to go up so much because the government is willing to pay $2,000 a month to house these migrants. Well, if you're a business owner, you're going to say, okay, I'll take the $2,000. Well, a regular family like that can't compete. And so we don't even understand, like J.D. Vance said, we don't even understand the cost of what Joe Biden's policies and what Kamala Harris administration, the Biden-Harris administration has done to hurt the very people that was trying to root for the black girl and trying to say Joe Biden is a wonderful person while you pay $1,500 a month for your studio apartment. We cannot be this dumb as Americans. I can't even imagine when I see something like that, how hurtful my heart hurts. My heart breaks for her, that woman. And she couldn't even rely on her mom because mama ain't got nothing neither. Mm-hmm. Mama in the car with them. Yeah. You ain't even got grandma's house to go to.
Nobody. And let me say this, I've been there. I haven't, but my mom was there. I'm the oldest of 4. I was raised by a single mom. My mom was there where there were times where we didn't know we were going to have somewhere to live, but she was able to get into the system somehow, and we were able to get housing. Now this was many years ago.
Now you can't.
But I say this to say, I don't know what was her circumstance. I don't know what the circumstance was with that family. But when I look at the whole picture right now, and you were talking about these Democrats advocating for these illegals, and then also pushing back against audits of the federal government for money that we work hard for. It's unconscionable.
Exactly. And Elon Musk even said is like, we're $2 trillion in debt. He was able to uncover a whole $1 trillion. Like, that is going toward the direction that we want to. And people are fighting against him. Like, for me, I believe that every American should see that story. And honestly, her story is not new, y'all.
No.
I mean, it's so sad that, her situation caused the loss of life in her children. But I know so many people that are in her same situation, cannot afford a house, can't afford housing. You have your children. You don't know how you got there.
No, I mean, she may have some type of substance abuse issue. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like you said, and you talk about the whole mental health. You talk about the healthcare situation we have here in the United States. Again, the strain that illegals put on our medical system is another thing that drives up the costs, that drives up wait times, and so on and so forth. These are actual dollars that we are just throwing away for non-citizens. And folks, we are not the same United States that we were, in the 1900s and the 1800s and so on and so forth. We are not a young nation. We do not have the same infrastructure we had back then. We don't have it. We are not made the way we were then, where we can take in all of these people. We just don't.
Yeah.
So,
KJ, I don't know if you want to just announce, you guys, like, share, subscribe, share this, because I believe that once enough Americans see this sister, I mean, your heart just breaks for her. She didn't have a mom. Like, most of us can say, like, I know we grew up poor. But man, I got a mom that, can help me, or a grandma's house that I can go to. Like, the grandma is in the van with them.
Right. She wasn't very old.
40-something.
Yeah. We're all messed up. I mean, we talk about, we just, let's pray. We need to pray for her right now.
Yeah, Father, touch that woman, touch her family, oh God. Give her the strength to get through this, Lord. We don't always understand, but God, you said your ways are not our ways, and neither are your thoughts our thoughts. As far as the east is from the west are your thoughts from ours, oh God. So we know, oh God, that if you allow this to happen, that you can bring her through this, that you can bring her family. Maybe there's something that you're trying to teach them through this, oh God. Reveal it like never before. In Jesus' name we pray.
In Jesus' name, amen. Yeah. We pray, and that, God just heal them inside and out, heal them.
Yeah, and maybe he's trying to teach us something as a nation. I mean, like when he was instructing the children of Israel, he told them to take care of themselves and take care of the stranger, but the stranger had to conform to the ways of the culture, the ways and the cultures of the children of Israel. And so maybe he's teaching us, it's not that we don't want immigrants, you guys. It's not, immigrants are a wonderful thing for a country to invite people with different cultures and different backgrounds and different thoughts. It is a wonderful thing. However, you have to make sure that when these people come over here, they come over with a mindset to improve what's already been set into motion and what's been set into place. And any immigrant that decides that they're not going to do that, we have to decide that they are not fit for this country. So God bless Tom Holman. He's doing God's work.
Yeah.
He's doing God's work.
Yep, I agree. And, we'll keep you all updated on what's going on with that family. And we will link their GoFundMe, because apparently she has a GoFundMe if anyone has it to give. All right. Speaking of our culture, Black culture, I want to kind of change gears a little bit and talk about this 500-pound rapper. So, yeah, it's definitely a change in gear. But we got to talk about this, folks. So the rapper's name is Dank Demoss. 500-pound rapper went viral when a Lyft driver refused to drive her and to her destinations. So the Lyft driver said that she would not fit, and so now she has filed a lawsuit against Lyft for discrimination against her for him denying her the ride. Not only that, but she was recently on popular urban radio, The Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God this week. And she had this to say. Let me see here. Take a look. This is clip 7.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Hi, how are you?
Stormy. How you doing? Hey, King. How you, brother? You good? Nice to meet you, King.
Got it. Yep. It's the only seat y'all got?
What you want? What you need?
There's one more. A bigger chair or something.
Is she already little?
We had
This is what I'm talking about. Good. This is accommodation.
There you go. You walked in and you said the chair was too small, so we had to bring the part of the sectional for you to sit in. And you said something. You said, "Now this is what I'm talking about: accommodations." Right?
Yes.
But we live in a world that's not always going to be able to accommodate people that are
we
plus
should
size.
though. We should, because we not all the same. You know. I feel like we should. Like why not? I feel like a lot of times people think that bigger people, obese, the F word people should just be in a house, when it's like
The
we
F
not.
word?
Yeah, the F word. I'm not.
You heard that you can't say in your house.
Yeah.
Fat. You don't like it.
Oh.
I'm not saying that word.
Yeah, we don't use that word in my house either.
I thought you were talking about the gay slur. I'm like, wait, I'm confused.
No.
No.
But I just feel like it should be accommodated. Bigger people should be accommodated, just like we accommodate the LGBT community. All those other communities. I just feel like we outside. If we inside, is get up. Why you in a house? You should be doing this. You should be doing that. When we outside, it's like, why you not in a house?
Well, people would say, okay,
who actually told you that? Because that's crazy. I don't believe that. F people should stay in the house.
That's how it is. We go outside and people looking at us crazy, like, we getting stared at for what? Because we big.
You compared your situation to the LGBTQ, and a lot of people would say, well, LGBTQ people don't have a choice to be.
So you're getting stared at because you go outside with half tops on. That's why you're getting stared at. You go out half naked. 500 pounds, half naked.
Well, whether she was half naked or not, I mean, like, sis, you weigh 500 pounds. And I refuse to live in a world or society where we normalize that. Sis, you are 500 pounds. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're a rapper. I don't care if you're a singer or you're a regular person. It's not acceptable. And not only that, like, your attitude just kind of sucks. Why do you feel like I have to drive you around? Why do you feel like I have to avoid the F word? Fat, 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 fat. I'm going to say it because that's what you are, sis. And maybe if more people said it, then you would acknowledge it and be more cognizant of it. Like, even just her attitude was just off. Y'all ain't got nothing else for me to sit on. No, sis, we don't. We do not. Okay? Like, her attitude, like the way she's just kind of normalizing it. And mind you, I'm a burger away. Look, I'm a burger away. I am not skinny by any sense of the word. However, just the way that she just kind of,
Oh yeah, she's a narcissist. She's crass, and she's mentally impaired.
Yes.
She's mentally impaired. This and that's why what she's doing. First off, it's one thing if you have a medical issue, or if you are in the process of working on yourself. But to get that big and have that attitude that she had, that is sinful. That is sinful. That is, like I said, her attitude was way off. Again, being overweight is not a sin. You know, people have issues. You know, you do. Nobody's perfect. You know, I get it. But that big, and then to have that attitude, like everyone is supposed to accommodate her, that is wrong. That is wrong.
And I don't mind accommodations. Like I really don't. I have some of my people that I love, you know, fall into like the category of overweight, right? However, but her attitude is like, take me as I am. Like you said, she have a tube top and, oh, I'm sexy, I'm this, I'm that. And mind you, some people might like it. Hey, to each his own. But her attitude was off. Her rapping is off. Like her rapping is very crass. And I just feel like the Breakfast Club was too nice to her, and then they bring all that smoke for people like Larry Elder.
Let me tell you something. You know, I'm probably like an average size person, okay, but I'm the smallest out of my entire family. All right, I grew up with big girls. My mom is a big woman.
My mom is not.
My dad's side is small, but my mom's side are all big. I mean, big breasts too. That breasts used to get caught in the dresser drawer. Okay. So I say all that to say they didn't have that attitude.
No,
it was never that. My mom conducted herself with dignity and class. She knew she was big. You know, she wouldn't be, he ain't got nothing to accommodate me. And, you know, she wore things that fit her nicely. She always looked good. What is wrong with people nowadays? What is wrong with our community?
I don't know. And it's not acceptable to act the way that she acted. It's not acceptable to talk the way y'all ain't got nowhere else to sit. Like who sis, like pipe down, who are you talking to? But it's only honestly, like you only see this in the Black community. And mind you, they will be getting on conservatives. They'll talk all this junk about Candace Owens. You remember when Candace Owens was on their show? They were trying to give her like a Black quiz. Why didn't you give sis a diet quiz? I mean, seriously, let's talk about calorie count. Like, you know, it's so accepted in our community. The least, the least common denominator, like the people who just do not bring us up is who we tend to gravitate to, be kind to, be nice to. And she doesn't deserve it.
No,
she doesn't.
She reminds me, when I look at her, it is not even about her size, but to hear her speak and to see her move, I'm disgusted. Yeah. Same way I'm disgusted when I see something like this. This is clip 9. Take a look.
A nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. How much more can I take? Give a nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. How much more can I take? Give a nigga a break. I just married my beautiful wife, and I can't pay the bill, and I just wanna buy her a house out in Beverly Hills. How the f*** did I not be on yet? Almost 30 years old. How the f*** did I not be so hot when a nigga this cold? Give a nigga.
KJ did not show me that clip.
But it's nonsense like that.
I don't think that was nonsense at all, KJ. I'm telling you, I want all white people to just feel comfortable saying it. Y'all want to be that? Then go ahead and be it. Go be a nigga. Go be a nigga. If you want to be, you be all that you can be. Because I'm telling you, like, it's so silly, it's so stupid. And when people like him just kind of feel like they want to be that, then go be that, sir.
Yeah.
Go be that.
Yeah. But when I saw her, I thought of that song. It's ridiculous. It's just pure madness.
Yeah.
Pure madness.
Yeah. And then her music, like her music, like
right. She's a rapper and she's awful. They've taken the whole idea of hip hop and things like that, and they've totally just turned it on upside down. It's not pure nonsense now. Pure nonsense.
Give me a break. Y'all, I want to give all like white people permission to just kind of say it.
A nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. How much?
Yeah.
Just say it.
All right. So yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, this is what we're dealing with. And so, you know, we'll see where that goes. Again, as I mentioned, she has filed a lawsuit against Lyft for discrimination. So we will see. Again, the Lyft driver came to pick her up. It's all on video. When he got there, he realized her size, and he said, "Hey, you know, you're not going to fit in my car." He had a sedan.
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, I can fit." And he was like, "No, I'm going to call you another Lyft to come get you. You know, I don't think my tires are going to be able to." Yeah, that's what he said.
Size is not protected by EEOC. It's not.
Well, she said her attorney is arguing that in Michigan, I believe, where this took place, that they do include weight as a protected class.
I hate that. I hate that. Unfortunately, that's what we're living in. I'm so glad, y'all. I love my president. And I'm hoping that he fixes some of this crap, because like I should not have to be impacted negatively by your decisions. And unfortunately, her decision is to be 500 pounds, which is fine. Ain't nothing wrong with it, right? Like, I mean, if that's what she chooses to do,
right.
This is America. However, I don't have to subject my car to that. I don't have to subject anything to that.
Right. Exactly. All right. Well, we are getting close to the end of the night here. We had some other stuff to get to, but we will not be able to get to it. Just want to quickly run through before we let you guys go. There's some stuff going on here in Maryland. We had a local Maryland delegate here who uncovered a bill that the Democrats are trying to push in Maryland to basically take away parental rights. So they are trying to, in this bill, I think I have the name of it here. It's called the Maryland Department of, it requires the State Department of Education in collaboration with the Maryland Department of Health to develop a comprehensive health education framework. But within this framework, they are pushing gender ideology.
Yeah.
Bad, folks. It is bad. We talked about this on Poppin' Politics the other night.
It was good.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, y'all. Okay, if you're new to KJ, you start talking about this kid stuff. You start threatening her parental rights. You see a different side of Miss KJ. Okay.
I was pretty upset because, I mean, this thing, not only just in this situation, but when you think about the idea of them saying that the state knows more than parents, teachers know more than your own parent, your own mother, your own father. This kind of reverberates. Okay, I'm saying it correctly or not, but it goes through a lot of different things, and they are slowly, actually fast now. They're doing it at a faster pace now, ticking away against parental rights, and it's here in Maryland, and it's going to go throughout the country. I actually have a clip if we have time to play it really quick.
Yeah, let's play it.
Okay, let me see here. Okay. All right, here we are. So this is the clip here.
Just so I'm clear, this bill will not allow parents to opt out of HIV/AIDS education. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so we cannot opt out of that.
Correct.
Okay. Does this bill or do parents have the option to opt out of gender identity and expression, which starts in kindergarten?
Well, and let me check to see exactly what happens in kindergarten.
That's on page 21 of the Maryland Comprehensive Health Education Framework.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Just 1 second.
Kindergarten.
Okay. Kindergarten, gender identity expression. Kindergartners will learn to recognize a range of ways people identify and express their gender. They will recognize it's important to treat people of all gender identities and expressions with dignity and respect.
Okay, that's kindergarten. Okay, how about the 4th grade lesson on same gender physical and sexual attraction, which is on page 22?
4th grade, there is in sexual orientation identity, they identify sexual orientation as a person's physical and or romantic attraction to an individual of the same and or different gender.
Okay, and how about page 23? Can parents opt out of the 6th grade lesson on sex assigned at birth?
So your pages are different than mine. So what grade are you looking at?
All right, I'm looking at, I read this page by page, the Mental Comprehensive Framework. Okay, so if the pages don't correspond with yours, I mean, the lessons are still the same. So this is 6th grade, the lesson on sex assigned at birth.
Sex assigned at birth, 6th grade.
1 second while I find 6th grade.
Find it, sis.
Healthy.
And she's acting like.
I know. She's the one bringing it up. She don't know what she wrote.
6th grade, gender identity and expression. Define sex assigned at birth, gender identity, and gender expression. You cannot opt out of that.
Can't opt out.
They cannot opt out of that.
You can't.
Okay, can parents opt out of the 7th grade lesson on masturbation, oral, and anal sex?
Yes, you can opt out of that.
Okay, they can. See, the thing is that these issues have not been just raised in Carroll County. They've been raised in Anne Arundel County, Montgomery County, and across the state of Maryland. You have parents that have religious and cultural beliefs that have been dismissed. And frankly, our job as parents is to protect our children. It is not up to the schools to teach our children things that don't align with our values. So if we're going to talk about diversity and inclusion, we need to look at the diversity of our communities and parents who do not want their children learning these lessons.
So that wasn't a question, but Madam Speaker, may I respond?
Yes.
So I'm, as you all know, and I know you're new, but I have 3 children, so I'm well aware of a parent's job, and that it's to protect and take care of your children.
So let's talk about it. I'm a mother, and I know you aren't aware since you're new, but I'm a mother. After she literally just said that she is advocating for a 6th grade curriculum that talks about masturbation, oral sex, and anal sex.
Yeah, and so this infuriates me because there are Marylanders now that I talk to every day that says this is not happening. Where is this happening in Maryland? This is not happening in Maryland. And I just want to blast this. You guys, please share this. Like, share, and subscribe. My issue with Mrs. Vanessa Atterbury is the way that she's kind of talking to, LaToya, like, sorry, no, parents cannot opt out. First of all, if I was a teacher, I would not want to teach this to somebody else's child. You have to be a pervert, Miss Vanessa Atterbury, to even find this to be like, when you're writing the lesson plan, what are you thinking? What's going through your head?
What? I don't know. I don't understand it. I do not understand it. The only thing that I can see is in Rebel Without a Reason is saying indoctrination. This is what they want. They want these kids to be pansexual. They want everyone to be like that. They want to get rid of mothers and fathers and traditional biblical families, and everything just be haywire. And they know that if they teach it in the schools, if they start at this level, there is a greater chance of it spreading on up to adulthood.
And I am so hopeful that President Trump keeps his commitment to defund states like this. And KJ, you and I, we pay for school anyway.
Right.
Like, defund states like this, because this is the type of foolishness, the type of crap that you subject your teachers to teaching. I'm sorry, if you are a teacher in the public school system and you want to talk to a third grader or fourth grader or kindergartner about anything having to do with their genitals and their parts and their sex life, you need to go seek help, because you just might be a pedophile.
Oh yeah, that's what they are.
Ugh.
And here she is again.
And I do that every day with my 13-year-old, my 11-year-old, and my 10-year-old daughter. And what I will say is that I find it refreshing that you are talking about diversity and inclusion. So thank you for that.
So after she literally just talked about 6th grade getting butt plugs, dildos, oral sex, and all this type of stuff, she, again, here we are, it's the same, her hill to die on.
Yeah, and her vibe is off. Like, I'm sorry, sis, that you don't have any more meaningful conversation with your 10-year-old. I feel really bad for them. But there's plenty of things that I talk to about my kids, and that is probably one that is not, it doesn't come up at the dinner table every night, dum-dum. Exactly. Like, you don't need a curriculum on it. It's amazing to me that the people who want to talk to kids about how to have sex, they've been having sex for thousands of years. It's amazing how that thing just kind of works itself out on its own. You don't need to teach them.
Right. And another thing, what about people who believe in waiting until marriage, who are teaching that to their children? What about that? And then you come in and you're teaching this, that they can have not only sex with the opposite sex, but with the same sex, you know, with themselves all over the place. I mean, this is why people, you know what community stood up against this here in Maryland? It was Muslim community action. They have a case going to the Supreme Court because they said it should be unconstitutional to not allow them to opt out for religious circumstances. Now, they've gone from wanting to teach this in school to now you must teach it in school, and your kids you can't even opt out.
I'm sorry, KJ. Like, I don't even want to opt out. I don't want to opt in. Like, get it out of the school or defund the school. Defund the school. This Atterbury chick is just, she's off. Like, and in her aura, it's like, I have, a master's degree and a doctorate, and I talk to my kids about what kind of sex they're like and what gender they want to be. You freaking weirdo. Oh, you weirdo. I don't care how cute you think you are, sis. It's gross.
Oh, yeah. She's one of these nasty nice. I call them nasty nice. These passive aggressive, they try to, oh, I'm so nice, oh, I got this high pitched voice, and and I'm gonna teach your kids about same-sex stuff and pansexual and those. This is what it is.
My kids, three of my I have 3 kids and they're all pansexuals. Oh, really, you freaking weirdo. I wonder how you became the parent of 3 kids. It wasn't being pansexual. Only one kind of way make a baby, sis.
No, they don't believe that. Here she is at the end.
What I also will say is the courts, the federal district court in 2023 denied in Montgomery County, not an on-point case, but similar. And then the higher court, the Fourth Circuit, said that parents do not have a right to challenge a lack of an opt-out policy. So that is pending in the Supreme Court right now. They said that that is not a right.
So you're making it clear that it's not a right for parents to have a decision in their child's well-being, their child's education. Parents should always have the autonomy to opt out of any and every lesson especially that's in this comprehensive framework. So I encourage you all to take in what was just said, and also, my friend, the good delegate there that made the amendment, I would like you to strongly consider voting on this amendment. Thank you.
So, folks,
take your kids out of public school. Take them out of, like, the fact that rolled off another mother's tongue, Miss Atterbury. Parents do not what? Parents do not what? Don't tell me what I don't have the right to do.
I was just about to say, can you imagine you going to parent counseling and you're talking about your child, something that you don't allow them to do, and the teacher is telling you, no, you need to allow this. That just doesn't even make sense.
Hey,
it doesn't make sense.
It's a spirit here in Maryland. Something is going on. KJ, I'll tell you a short, brief story. I went to the dentist one time, and y'all, I almost lost my religion, and I love God. But I asked the dentist about a procedure that she was going to do, and her response to me was, I know what's best for your child.
Oh.
I lost it, y'all. I lost it. I lost my everlasting mind when you tell. Even if she probably do, don't tell me you know what's best for my child, sweetheart. Don't tell me that.
But that makes sense. I'm the same way at the doctor's office. They try, as the child gets older, they try to get you out the room every way they can. And I'm just like, ask him, well, why do you keep trying to get me out of the room? It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's very strange to me. It's just like, I could see if it was a situation where, I don't know. I just don't even see it. I mean, I don't have that type of relationship. We talk about everything, and and it's not like I don't believe in speaking to your kids about sex. I do, but there should be nothing that somebody is going to say to my child that they can't say to me.
And it's such a small portion, like relationship. We have become so over sexualized. How about you teach your kids about healthy, loving relationships?
Yeah.
Teach your kids about what a good friendship looks like and a bad friendship. Teach your kids about money. Teach your kids about finance. Teach your kids, like, there's so many other things to teach your kids about than sex. It's amazing how they just kind of figure the whole sex thing out. They don't need a lot of help, actually. Yeah, it's so crazy to me that they're trying to push the parents out. But then if anything happens to your boy, anything happens to my 3 kids, the first thing that you're doing is you're calling me. The first thing that you're doing is you're blaming me. The first thing that you're doing, like you don't get to undo this. If y'all are, the government is a terrible parent, y'all.
Yeah. And guess what? Some of these teachers are too. Yes. We're finding out more and more that there are these teachers that are pedophiles.
Yep.
And I don't know who these people are that are hiring them. I have this one here. This is just out recently. This is a teacher out in California. And she was found to have been sexually assaulting her kids. Look at this. It's real quick.
that I try to push into my classroom and my students.
This same elementary school teacher, who was once named Teacher of the Year, now straight up admits she sexually assaulted 2 preteen boys who were once her students.
Is that true?
Yes. Investigators found one of the boys' photos in her wallet when she was arrested. They also found an overwhelming amount of disturbing evidence, including explicit texts, photos, and even videos. So let's get right into it. The defendant we're focusing on today is 35-year-old Jacqueline Ma, who at the time of her arrest was an elementary school teacher. Jacqueline began teaching 5th and 6th grade students back in 2023. All of this happened in National City, California, which is just south of San Diego. In 2022, she was actually honored by the San Diego County Office of Education for her exemplary work as a teacher. She even appeared on the local news there to talk.
So first of all, who is hiring these people? I wouldn't have hired her. Number one, I don't care how Asian she is. The nose ring, she got different colored hair, all this type of stuff. Folks, where do we lose common sense?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not trying to say you have to be, you know, clean cut and everything, but it's just some stuff is just not professional for me for school. You look like a kid.
Yeah, or authoritative. Yeah, it's not necessarily her professionalism, but the first thing that you have to do with children, if you are not trying to abuse them, is set boundaries. You always know an abuser, a predator. They start breaking boundaries to where they try to create some equality between them and a child. And I saw Candace Owens say this the other day. Like, what about a 15-year-old boy's physique? What about a 13-year-old boy's physique like excites you as like a grown woman? Like, you are a freaking weirdo. You're a pervert.
Yeah. Yeah, but they keep doing it. They keep putting these people in the schools. And I don't understand why. I mean, when you see these, all of these reports of these, you know, activist teachers, you know, out here with the pride flags all in their offices, and they're trying to teach the kids on the slide about LGBTQ and transing and all this type of stuff. They all look the same. They got all these minotaur rings, nose rings, the different colored hair, you know, they're looking crazy and stuff. Who's hiring these people?
Yeah. They're all, yeah. You're trying to break down the barriers. Like, if I find myself trying to be one with a kid, then it makes it easier for me to kind of feel like I can violate them. The first thing that any adult does with a child that is not trying to abuse a child is start setting boundaries. Like, start saying, I'm the adult, you're the child. I have responsibilities in the relationship, which means to protect you at all costs. You have to listen to me. Like, those are the types of things. And so when you find them starting to dress kind of weird, like it to me, it's red flags.
Yeah. And so this is why I'm so excited that Linda McMahon, she's going through the confirmation process now. She is, of course, President Trump's nominee for the to lead the Department of Education.
Yep.
And she is not playing around. I mean, she had her opening hearing. Her hearing was today, I believe. And I'm not sure, do we have clip 12 really quickly, where she talked about what she's going to do if she is confirmed?
Yeah. They tried to make it seem like she was going to shut it down. I love her response.
Yeah. I have it here.
Thirds of public colleges are beset by violent crime on campuses every year. And most tragically, student suicide rates have dramatically increased over the last 2 decades. We can do better. We can do better for the elementary and junior high school student by teaching basic reading and mathematics, for the college freshman facing censorship or anti-Semitism on campus, and for parents and grandparents who worry that their children and grandchildren are no longer taught American values and true history. In many cases, our wounds are caused by the excessive consolidation of power in our federal education establishment. So what's the remedy? Fund education freedom, not government-run systems. Listen to parents, not politicians. Build up careers, not college debt. Empower states, not special interests. Invest in teachers, not Washington bureaucrats. If confirmed as Secretary, I will work with Congress to...
Yeah. There it is.
So, KJ, this is so funny to me, y'all. I'm sorry. I love the way that he just pulling all them white folks in there. He don't really care about race, skin color. He's not trying to meet no quota. He don't care what y'all think. And every last person in there has been wiping the floor with these hearings.
That's what I'm talking about. This is why I don't care about color.
I don't care about color.
And I will say I've come a long way, because when my younger days, I was one of these pro-black, people, black all the way, all time black, that blackly bliggity black. That's who I was.
Me too.
I'm realizing, all skin folk ain't kin folk.
Oh, no.
And they don't think like we don't share the same values all the time.
I just want the job done.
Yes. And I want the job done. I want to make sure you have good values. You're not coming in with all this crazy stuff. And that's it.
That's it. That's it.
But sometimes that doesn't come in the same skin color, race, or ethnicity, and all that type of stuff. And I don't care.
I'm like, we hired this man to do the job. I don't care if he hires a bunch of green people. I just love that every single person that goes before these committees are representing him and representing what the American people voted for to the utmost. Like they are giving it to them. They are remaining consistent. They're staying on message. They're not frazzled. And they recognize that ultimately the goal is to make a better America, to make America great again. And I love it. She's amazing. She's amazing.
Absolutely.
He said put herself out of a job is what the goal is.
I know, because they want to get rid of it. And that's what they need to do. I mean, and I think we talked about this before. The Department of Education is a new the government department. I think it started in the 1970s.
Yep, it did.
Compared to the other departments, parts of government, it's fairly new. And it has been nothing but terrible since they pushed it in. So I'm looking for that. I'm excited about them getting rid of it, because these people need to be stopped.
For sure.
The last clip I want to play for you guys, this is what they do. This is the type of stuff they're trying to push on our kids. This is clip 11.
Today's virtual roundtable is entitled Identifying and Disrupting Your Whiteness, a workshop addressing power and privilege toward anti-racist spaces. The term whiteness refers to race privilege, a way of seeing the world and a set of cultural practices that are usually unmarked and unnamed. Whiteness is often unrecognized, particularly by people who identify as white, but pervasive in American society and a barrier to inclusion and equity. This Equilearn virtual roundtable, facilitated by Equity Fellow Dr. Sharon Rad, offers a space to examine one's personal, local, and immediate connections to whiteness and privilege, and consider how to identify and disrupt rather than perpetuate them.
You see? Now that's a black one for you. I don't have anything to do with that.
Y'all, white people, do you see how people are talking about you, about a feature that you had no choice of creating? Like, you didn't make yourself white, and you see how these people have the audacity to accuse you of being racist? Like, they are pulling the switcheroo. Now, mind you, this is an old clip, but I still see it done today. Like, I still see people talking about white people like you're just allowed to openly discriminate against a whole race of people. And our founding fathers said that we are all endowed by our creator. And so for you guys to allow this, I mean, I don't.
Here's the kicker. That's not an old clip. That is part of a program funded by the Department of Education. They granted the person who created that, they granted the Department of Education last year, granted them $8 million. They paid that left-wing NGO. That woman has an NGO, which promotes the idea that America is a white supremacist society and demands that you must disrupt your whiteness. That's what NGO is responsible for that. And that tape is current. That tape was being distributed to 7,000 school districts in the Midwest, folks.
Are you serious? Like, for me, white people, like, do you just hate your children? I mean, like, I just don't understand for you guys to not be like screaming from the mountaintop, and you're the majority. Imagine what happens when you become the minority. It's going to look like South Africa right now. You know what's happening in South Africa and why President Trump is cutting off funding there is because they are literally taking property rights from white people because of the color of their skin. They're literally taking land. They're taking everything from white people because of their whiteness. So if you think the pendulum can't swing too far, you keep allowing stuff like this.
Yeah. It's not good. It's not good for anybody because this does not create a amiable society. It does not create something, a society it creates division. Yes. It doesn't create an America that is unified. And when we are not united, then our adversaries who are outside of the US, they can then take control. Oh, yeah. And that's the plan anyway. That's the plan. And we have these Marxist-minded people here in the US who are trying to implode our country from within. And in order to do that, they are using Black and brown people who, for some reason, idolize race, and they're preying on the trauma of slavery and trying to sow division. And they're creating this stupid stuff. And not only are they trying to do it for the adults, but they're teaching it to our children.
Yes. And I see Ali 7 Dito. You said don't speak for all of us, CJ, because I don't allow it. I speak up, and good for you, girlfriend. And you need to encourage other people because
Hey, Ali.
Yeah, like what I don't understand is that you guys are allowing people who have not proven themselves to be integral when it comes to this. They don't know the Constitution. They believe that the Constitution doesn't even apply to them. I'm talking about the Blacks. The Blacks say, oh, well, we weren't even included in the Constitution. We're not American. We built this country, but we're African and the motherland and all of that. Y'all are allowing these people that have no respect for what your forefathers created to somehow act like they can teach you something. How about you teach your hood? Okay, you want to know what Black leadership looks like? Go to Baltimore, go to Chicago, go to LA, go to all the places in the hood. And then you tell yourself, white folks, if you want to somehow allow these people to tell you anything about you and your forefathers.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. All right. I totally agree. All right. Well, we are wrapping up now, folks. We've been on here for almost 2 hours. Thank you all for hanging in with us. Please remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. What are you waiting for? We appreciate all you guys with us tonight. Thank you so much to all of our viewers. And again, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That does help to amplify our voice here on YouTube. All right. And we are
Oh,
creating.
go ahead. Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah, we are creating a community of like-minded people. We're not talking about black, white, brown, yellow. We're talking about Christian conservatives that can come in any color, any gender. Well, it's 2 genders, but you know what I mean. So if you know people who are like that and would enjoy what we talk about on here, share this with them. Post it on your social media. Send it in a instant message on your social media and get them to subscribe. Come on over to Christian Conservative with KJ and CJ.
Yes. And so I'll end with a Proverbs. You guys think about this when it comes to leadership. And I love Proverbs. You guys, well, I love the whole Bible. We love the Bible. Me and KJ. Proverbs 14:34. Righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. So it doesn't matter what your skin color are. We are talking about biblical truths, and it really doesn't have anything to do with anything, but God's way is always the best way. So
absolutely. All right. Well, that does it for us tonight. We will be back on Sunday at 9 p.m. We will be back. Hit the notification bell so you know when we go live, and we will catch you next time. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.